2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure. But it falls incomplete, and it's second down.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, it's Henry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Caught, right side, Gresham. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
This one caught by Ridley. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night. A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Jensen. They're hauling it in, Nelson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now a pitch out to Kamara. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Looking to throw. Jensen. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw on 2nd down. Jensen. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
319! No, check! Patriot! Leopard!
To throw on 3rd down. Jensen. Being chased out left. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Back to throw. Jensen. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 3rd down, Jensen. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
On fourth down, Jensen. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on fourth down to bring up first and goal.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. It's their quarterback taking it in. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And they wasted no time right down near the goal line, and they just sneak it in.
Just do what you need to do. Big guys going up front. Have the field general, the leader, just falling behind him.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Butker now to kick this one away. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Jadeveon Clowney in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. Leopard. 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 No. Check. Patriot. Patriot.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And they will finally get him down at the 28. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Check. Patriot. Patriot. Leopard. Leopard.
A give. This is Kamara. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And now running right through him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Looking to throw. Jensen. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Kamara, try to run for it. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Black 99 Philly, here we go. Detroit! Detroit!
And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear, but here in the rain of the elements, they'll go for it on 4th.
Now let's go! 3-19!
Back to throw. Jensen. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
Holding. Defense.
So they decline the penalty. And that seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. To throw on 3rd down. Carr. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. On 1st and 10, Jensen lets it go for Nelson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jensen. Caught by Nelson left side. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, 3rd quarter. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Toss play, Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline. To be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jensen. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And he's got Gresham. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Carr to throw, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand. Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail. Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive. And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too. No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Let's go, let's go. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Again, it's Kamara. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Oh, they hate that. Wipes out the big play.
And I know this is the NFL, so they would probably fine you for this type of a penalty. But when I was in college, you used to have to do up-downs for the number of yards that you cost a team in a big play.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Here we go now.
On third down, here's Kamara, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Throwing on first down, Jensen. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 41 yards. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They run it again with Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Looking to throw. Jensen. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319. No, check. Patriot.
Kamara trying again. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They do get 6, but they've still got some work to do on 3rd and goal. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And now the Browns coming out on the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. They're throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Carl trying again on 2nd down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Jadeveon Clowney in there yet again. My goodness, make it 5 sacks for him now in this one game alone.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him again, and that's his 6th sack of the ball game, one off the NFL record of 7.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. And that is incomplete. Hugh Jackson rolls the dice, but it doesn't work for him. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on...
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks.
Still
They were
first
just
down.
trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Carr going to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And he went backwards. He'll be down to 30. That's going to go as a loss of... Carr to throw again. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Get down. 185.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Again, it's Carr. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Offside defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
The ball down at the 1 as they come up after the penalty on another 2nd and goal. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Goes underneath for Henry. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Nelson. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. J.J. Nelson, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. This one complete to Gresham. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Now a play fake. Carr. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. And the Steelers set to take the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Running with Kamara. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It was Eric Reed in on the stop.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
And the Steelers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys who's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch.
you.